Good evening. It's Danielle here with Curated Nutrition with Crying in My Cheesecake. And I just want to thank you for following along and joining me in this seminar tonight. I just want to talk to you about what a process for a lifetime looks like. I'm going to go ahead and jump right on in. First things first, most nutrition coaches, or there's some nutrition coaches out there that will share with you their before picture, but their before picture is more of this that they're pregnant or while they're pregnant, and then their after is after they're pregnant and have done a system or something like that. But I want to show you over here on the left, that was me before kids. That was me almost my whole life. I looked like that same body frame. It was funny, I found that the other day, this picture, when I was so excited, I got the Sarah Palin book, but I looked and the book came out on November 17th, 2009. And that is when, I pre-ordered the book, so I know I got it on that day. But if you take a look at me before kids, I don't think I remember who that girl is. I don't know who she is. I don't know, her story, but I want to know it. And then if you look over here on March 2018, it's nearly the same body. It's just post kids. The boobs are a little droopier in the right hand side, but it's the same body frame. It's the same person, and I still am not quite sure who that person is anymore. But then if you look at the far right, you can see that there's a process. There is a mental process, a physical process, and there's something that's working. All that to say is that I am a macro missionary, that I am someone who understands the struggle of what nutrition and the whole body health situation can have. All right, so why is my coaching different? I need to move this. So why is my coaching different? My coaching is different because there is a situation like that. Let me just say this. Losing weight is easy. Any form, fashion, any way works to lose weight. But the problem is keeping it off. You can use any of the programs out there and lose weight. And I'm sure you have. And I'm sure many people have. But the problem comes when we try to keep it off. If you look at the chart here below, or if you're just listening, there is a chart with the x-axis is years after weight loss, and the y-axis is the percent of lost weight that's being regained. Within 5 years, over 75% of our body weight is gained back that we had already lost. So the problem is not losing weight, it is maintaining it. And that is the major difference of my coaching, where my focus is. So let's look over here. Here is my method. So I'm not sure how good your eyes are and what you can see, but I want you to focus in on that yellow centerpiece. The yellow centerpiece is the most important. This is, and if you can follow along with me, it says awareness and accountability, identity and habits, education, inflammation, microbiome, energy, lifestyle, and stress relief. That is the heart of my coaching principle. So the three triangles on the outside, on the left-hand side, you see calories and sustainable distribution. Yeah, that's something that we can focus on, but calories are going to change that we need throughout our lifetime. Sustainable distribution is going to change depending on our lifestyle. Go to the right in that brown triangle. It says responsibilities, seasons of life, and nutritional tools. Well, responsibilities are responsibilities, and we're going to go into this in just a few slides later, but responsibilities change throughout the seasons of our life. Our nutritional tools are simply the format of counting macros. They're keto, veganism, vegetarian, paleo, any of the different ways to eat. Those are tools, and those we discuss later here in just a little bit as well. But those are all changing. Those are things that aren't necessarily what are going to cause us to be a healthy person. The top triangle is blue, and it says specific nutrition, sports nutrition, and advanced tracking. This is not 100% of the time. No one can track 100% of the time perfectly, hitting their macros, hitting their numbers, and eating at prime, optimal, eating at optimal all the time for the rest of their life. It's just not feasible. So those things change. And that is mostly specifically geared toward people who are going to do some kind of an activity or an event coming up. So this is my method. Now keep in mind this yellow inverted triangle is where we are going to focus. That is my main focus. The other stuff is just kind of fluff, and we just kind of add in and out depending on seasons. So let's head on over to what my process really boils down to. And it's called AREA: awareness, responsibility, education, and accountability. All right. So here we go. Let's talk about awareness. Awareness is simple. It is simply tracking all your intake, whatever goes in your mouth, including vitamins and minerals and things like that. It can be done on an app like MyFitnessPal or my new app that I'll be offering my clients for free. It can be done on paper and pencil. Shoot, there are some people that use a cocktail napkin at dinner and just write down from the menu what they ordered. Photographs, sending photographs, just take a picture of what you're eating and send it. Excuse me. Why do we track? Why do we want to be aware? Because when we are aware, we can make better decisions for our health. What that means is that we can take the opportunity to see. We can see patterns. Well, I'm just so hungry at the end of the day. Well, it's because you're grazing all day long, maybe, and you're not actually getting enough sustenance of the proper nutrients, and your body really is craving those. Maybe it's on weekends. Maybe weekends are a trigger for you. Maybe you're eating too much of one thing and not enough of another just to feel well. For example, myself, I notice that if I eat too much sugar, and I'm saying refined sugar, I'm not talking carbs, I'm not talking fruits, I'm not talking things like that, but I'm talking about refined sugars, the sugar cookies, the chocolate chip, anything like that, okay? If I eat those in excess or too many days in a row, I start to suffer in my workouts. And I just don't want to suffer in my workouts. I don't want to be sluggish because my workouts fire me up. They make me excited, and they make me proud of myself. It's something that I can enjoy and just, again, like feel that good pride in myself. So here's the thing. I know that there's going to be kickback on tracking, that, oh, it sounds so neurotic. That's just ridiculous. That's just too much. But here's the thing. When we have a newborn baby, we are to track the wet diapers and we're to track the dirty diapers. We have no problems with that, right? We have apps on our phone, which I thought was cool, but we have apps on our phone that track and tell us when our dogs are due for their next injection, or vaccine, their next vaccination, or their next wellness appointment. We have apps that tell us when our kids, do whatever. We have a thingy in the top corner of your car that tells you when your oil change needs to be done. We track everything else, but we don't track what goes in our bodies. Okay. So we care. It's kind of mind-boggling when you think about it that way. We care more about our oil change than we do what's going in our body. And think about men that go to the counter looking for their specific type of oil that they want for their car. We should be doing the same things with what we put inside our body. All right. So why do we track? Again, here's the thing. You may say, oh, I know what I'm eating. I know what I'm putting in my body. But are you only paying attention on Monday to Friday? Did you know that half of the month is weekends? So if you're eating good half of the month, eating over your calories for the other half of the month, you're going to stay the same weight. That's why people think they plateau. That's why people think, oh, it's just not working for me. Well, it's not, because you're eating, it's not working. You are not doing the process the whole time. Are you just guessing? Are you just guessing what you put in? Are you not doing it right then and there or planning ahead? Are you doing it after the fact when you might forget? Maybe you're a bad estimator of calories and portion sizes. I'm going to tell you, I'll be straight up front. I had no clue what 100 grams of grapes looked like. I had no clue what 100 grams of meat looked like. Or, in all fairness, one serving of lunch meat. Who only eats one serving of lunch meat? But I did not know that. Are you not tracking your vegetables? There's a program out there that calls certain foods free. All food has calories. I don't care what anybody says. All food has calories. All food must be tracked, including vegetables. Stress eating. So we track, so we can actually see, hey, it looks like you're having some trouble with stress on X day, and this is when you seem to want to eat a certain type of food. So you can actually learn awareness of things of stress eating. Oh man, I didn't know I was stress eating. Maybe I'm bored eating, that kind of thing. You'll see that when you track. But are you making data entry errors? So in my private group, if you choose me to be your nutrition coach, I have a private Facebook group, and I just shared an example as to why we really check our data entry, because our data entry can actually be wrong. We do not track net carbs. Net carbs are when they take the total carbs minus the fiber and they say, oh, that's how many carbs it is. That's actually not accurate. Fiber has calories in it, and we still have to count those. So when you make data errors like that, and you're only putting in 5 carbs when there's actually 16 carbs, you're going to be short 44 calories or more, depending on what the product is. So, or what the numbers are. So make sure that you read the nutrition log and you're logging what's on that nutrition log. Something else that maybe people don't pay attention to is alcohol, and they just scan the bottle of wine. So there's 4 macronutrients. There is protein, which is 4 calories per gram. There are carbs, which are 4 calories per gram. There is fat, which is 9 calories per gram. And the 4th macronutrient is alcohol, which is 7 calories per gram. So in order to actually log that properly, you don't scan the barcode of your wine, or you don't just go into MyFitnessPal or your app or this new app and just type in and put in whatever kind of Merlot or whatever you're drinking. You actually pour yourself a 5-ounce glass of wine, if that's what the serving size is, not a 5-ounce glass, but a 5-ounce glass of wine. And what you do is you take the total number of calories and divide it. So if you want to log it as carbs, which I highly recommend people logging it as carbs, you would take 100 calories, if that's what the calories were, divide it by 4, and you get 25. 1 5-ounce glass of wine would be 25 grams of carbs, and you would log it as that. I don't know about you, but I prefer to eat my carbs and not drink them. And also, this is another good tool or good point right now, that I don't recommend anyone to start drinking wine or start drinking alcohol for the good effects, because the good effects of alcohol does not outweigh the negatives. And I'm going to talk about that at another time. But just so we're on the same page, I don't recommend anyone start drinking just because it has good polyphenols. The other thing too is that we may think that we're doing really good, but yet we're not paying attention or remembering the treats that we've had throughout the day, or the nibbles, or the random graze of nuts that we walk by, or the M&Ms, or let's just say it's Christmas morning and you're making biscuits and gravy, and you need to taste that gravy in order to see, oh, do I need more salt? Do I need more pepper? Do I need more seasonings? Every lick is even more calories. So just when we are tracking our food, we're really paying attention and really being aware of our food and the calories going in. The next thing about awareness also helps us identify who we want to be. So if you're here, I'm going to assume you want to be a healthy person. So I'm going to say you would want to identify as a healthy person. So you would say, well, I am a healthy person, so I'm going to do what a healthy person does. Well, a healthy person is aware of what they're eating, thus they track in some form or fashion. They move their body. They probably get 6,000 to 10,000 steps a day. They probably take care of their spiritual health. They take care of their mental health. They take care of their emotional health. And they're present with their families. All sorts of things that actually make a person healthy, right? The next thing that awareness helps us do is to realize what kind of habits we're into. So all of my clients right now are women, and it is phenomenal to see the trends that happen with us women. Almost all of us love a sweet treat after dinner. Like you're full, you had enough food, but yet you want something after dinner. So there's this little like triangle that happens. You have a cue. Up here you have a routine, and over here you have a reward. Well, cue, I'm finished with dinner. The reward that I want is, I want a dopamine rush. I want a comfort. I want a soothing. I want something that'll just kind of give me that, I'm done kind of feel. So the routine that most women go to up here is chocolate or something sweet after dinner. So if that is your thing and you want to stop that because you just don't want those extra calories, change your routine. Instead of going to the sugar, maybe go to your Bible and just sit there and read a couple of verses or a couple of passages. Find a new routine to help your habit and get you still that reward that you want. Awareness also helps just helps you cater your nutrition to your lifestyle, to your energy. It helps you with inflammation, microbiome, stress control, and sleep. And that is, like, I am up in my clients' business asking them a lot of things, because we don't think that going to work or exercising or, running a ton of errands or grocery shopping, we don't think of that as stress because it's just everyday things. But stress is actually everything, like everything we do. Good stress, bad stress, our body still responds to it the exact same way. So as a nutrition coach, I really, really pay attention and teach an awareness of this connection to your body, the habits you create, and all of that. All right, next. So an area was awareness. Next, we have responsibility. Now, responsibility has 3 phases. It is a fluid back and forth thing. Not everybody stays in the same phase all the time. And many people don't even make it to phase 3. So the way I like to think about it is, my husband's been gone for a week. So he takes care of the trash. He takes care of the dishes. He makes me coffee. He takes the dogs out at night before bed. But I've had to do it all. So because of this current life situation I have, my responsibilities have increased. But when he comes back, my responsibilities will decrease, which means I have more time to focus on other things. So that's what I kind of want to get you in the mindset of. There's no such thing as a failure, only failing at not being aware and not keeping your responsibilities. So there's no failure as long as you stay within your thing. There's no, I'm a bad person, or I'm bad because I did this and this and this. No, it's just you just have more responsibilities or less responsibilities. You're not better or worse because you can take on more of the time. Responsibility of phase 1. These are people that are simply not in a huge rush. There's nothing huge about reaching your goal. It's not life or death. There's a lot of stress in life. Maybe you're constantly on the go. Maybe you're traveling with kids everywhere. Christmas time, for example, is one where most people are in phase 1. Those kinds of things, that is just busy. You're not having to weigh, track, or plan your food. You want an easy meal plan. You want quick recipes, things that are family friendly. You prioritize wanting encouragement and awareness and education instead of the quick drastic results. Often these people that stay in phase 1 for a while will go into phase 2 when life slows down. All the responsibility of phase 1 people is just to track their food and report daily food. And I'm not even saying there's no calorie restriction. There's no anything. It's just simply, hey, this is what I've eaten, because it's awareness, and you report it for your accountability. Phase 2 people are constantly learning and growing in their awareness. They're wanting to take on the additional responsibility of weighing and tracking, and they do commit to a caloric budget, and they prioritize protein and fiber. That people could stay here forever. That's fine. They usually have a higher than normal urgency. Maybe in this phase, someone is in this phase because they got their blood report back from the doctor, and the doctor's like, look, you're pre-diabetic or you're diabetic. We need to get this weight off of you. Or, hey, you are diabetic and we need to teach you how to eat properly. Those are maybe what would make things urgent. Or maybe you just have like a big spurt of motivation to get the weight off, or to put weight on, or to eat properly for your time. This phase, if you agree to this phase, it just means, hey, I'm willing to invest in time and to learn this process. I'm going to report my food. I'm going to adhere to protein and fiber and my caloric budget. So that's phase 2. But phase 3, no one stays here forever, and sometimes people don't make it here, and that's okay. What phase 3 looks like is solid deadlines. You have, like, I have I'm going to go on vacation. I want to drop this much weight by this date, blah, blah, blah. I have a wedding. I have a physical exercise thing that I want to do on this date. So I need to make sure that I'm fueling my body properly throughout the preparation process. Very urgent. Nutrition takes priority over all other areas in life. Okay, you're gonna take a sacrifice and do your nutrition over socializing proper, or socializing last minute, or like that kind of stuff. It takes priority. You're going to be meticulous in weighing. You're going to always hit your fiber, always hit your protein, always hit your calories on a weekly average, ideally daily, but on a weekly average. This one is the one that has the most responsibility, that you will hit within 1 gram of each macro daily. Okay. Again, not everybody stays here. Not everybody gets here. The third thing that I teach is education. Education should never end. Science continues to change, thus education should be ongoing. Maybe you want to try a new tool of eating. Maybe you're like, oh, so-and-so's had great luck with keto. Well, do it with the coach. Do it with a coach who can help you and teach you sustainability and why maybe keto may not work for you, or why veganism may not work, or paleo, or what have you, and have them help you eat within the proper caloric range for your goals. Education also is just simply continuing to learn how calories and your food matter during each stage of your life. For success, whatever success means for you. Maybe it's losing weight, maintaining weight, making sure you're fully you're nourished. A lot of people are overfed, undernourished. A lot of people are underfed and undernourished. And so maybe that's what your goals are. I am here for all of it. Accountability. So that's the next section. My role is to provide ongoing support. I have accountability too. I'm supposed to be providing ongoing support, nutrition support once your daily or total daily energy expenditure changes. And it's going to. If you're 400 pounds and you become 300 pounds, you're not going to burn as many calories as a 400-pound person. So your metabolic change, everything is going to change. Your body's going to adapt and change, and you're going to need less calories because you're not burning as many. Your role as a client of mine is to simply tell me the truth, the whole truth, and not just me, but yourself. Be honest and admit the reality of the situation that you're in. Be here and now. And this is hard for me too. So this is not just everything, but be here now. Be present when you are talking about your nutrition with me. Be present when you're dealing at the grocery store for yourself, for your family. Be present. And that's just something across the board. Be present with what your priorities are. Trust the process. I'm assuming that many people have tried so many different things, and that's why you're watching. That you've tried other processes, other things, and the weights come back, or it just doesn't work for you, or something like that. Trust the process. Ask questions. I love questions because it helps me to make more seminars and more things, but trust the process. What I did before didn't work, so I'm going to trust this new process. Never quit. Don't give up on yourself. You are worth the time, worth the money, worth the effort of making the next right step. And details matter. Surface level stuff does not work when you're actually wanting a full body health change. When you want your whole being to change and you want this to become a lifestyle, details matter, no surface stuff. The other thing that's here, I need something to coach. If you are going to become a client of mine, I need you to log. I need you to talk to me. I need you to communicate, because I need something to coach. When there is let's just say there's a batter that needs help with his swing or something. So he's going to go and say, hey, coach, I need some help. Can you show me what I need to do and give me some cues? Well, the batter is going to have to get in the batter's box and just hit ball after ball after ball after ball until that coach can see a pattern. Oh, hey, when the ball gets about 3 feet in front of you, you drop your elbow. You need to keep that elbow up. You're not stepping out, you're not like you're not swinging all the way through. So that is my job. I need something to coach. So I need the communication of the accountability, the food log, all the stuff we've talked about. I need something to coach. Perfection is a lie of the enemy. Now, you're going to hear me say, if you send me your food log and you're like, oh, this really sucked, or this was really bad, or whatever, you're going to hear me say, man, this is perfect. Why? Because perfection is a bunch of little imperfections leading up to a greater change. So perfection is a lie of the enemy, but man, we can make the next right step. We can keep doing the process, and that's perfect. That's perfect enough because you're going toward your goal. And then some final thoughts I have. You never will have to track your macros if you don't want to, nor will you have to forever. That's not the goal. But what the goal is that you will always need to be aware of your portions and your calorie intake. That's all. That's what it's about. To live life abundantly, you simply need to follow the heart of this process, the heart of the model, and just trust the process. And then the last thing, focus on changing your habits and your identity. I am a healthy person, so I'm going to behave as a healthy person. Belief actually matters. The belief in yourself actually matters. The belief that if you're struggling with belief in yourself, reach out. As a coach, just reach out and I can help you to remind yourself, oh, I did have success here, or I forgot that I had success here, or these kinds of things. So with that said, I'm not going to keep you any longer, but I just want to thank you for making it through this far. If you would like to schedule a free 15-minute consult with me, please reach out either in the, however you got to this link, but please reach out and send me a message on social media platforms at Crying in My Cheesecake, or send me an email at hello@cryinginmycheesecake.com. And I would love to schedule an appointment with you just to talk. And with that said, I hope you have a great evening, and I want you to live life abundantly and just really hone in on the belief of who you are. Thanks.